Hi, this is Hauser Mag, and you're watching my channel, Clodbuster. And I got another Clodbuster build I want to show you. And, so I built this ramp, and I've been having fun jumping and breaking all my cars. And they're all broken now, well, except for the arm Italian. That thing's a beast. I don't think much could break that, but you know, it's still got a little bruised and battered. So I figured the only truck out there that can really stand up to that punishment is a Clodbuster. And but I'm gonna have to do a few upgrades. So I'll show you what I got so far. This is a stock chassis from a Clodbuster, and it's a little weak if you take a look. I mean, that thing flexes pretty easily. So I think a lot of jumping will break that. So the first thing I need to upgrade was the chassis. So I figured I'd make my own. And what I made it right here, it's not finished, it just started, so right here. That's a stainless steel tube chassis that I bent up, welded up, because this thing, it's not just built to look cool, this thing's gonna really take a beating. So, and it's a real high grade stainless material. It's very strong. It takes a lot to like dent or damage that tube. It's so strong. In order to bend it, to give you an idea, if you look at something like a automotive brake line you could bend by hand, to bend this stuff, you need a bender like this. You really get a lot of leverage on it, and so that's how strong this stuff is. And let's see if I can find something to give you another example of how strong it is. Alright, I got a cinder block right here. You can chip away at the cinder block, and the tubing's perfect. So that's how strong this stuff is. So I've been working on this for a little while now, and it's nowhere near complete. There's still a lot of bracing that's going to go in here all over the place. There's going to be a lower section to mount the motor. Now, speaking of motors, the factory Clodbuster motor uses two 540s, and they're awesome. They're some of the fastest on the market for brush motors anyway. But I feel like I need brushless power in this because, again, this is going to be a truck that I can jump on and like really trash, and so it has to have a little more power. So what I did was I took the low-C DBXLE apart, and I'm using the motor and transmission from that. So that's a little step up from the stock motor. Let me see if I have a stock Clodbuster motor to show you. Oh yeah, here we go. Got a few. So this is the stock motor that came in the Clodbuster, and that's what's going in. It came with two of those, but I'm going to run one of those. Down the road, I was looking at ideas to make a bracket to mount two of these. That'd be pretty sweet. And so that should give it enough go power, and I'm going to be building custom solid axles, and those are going to be really neat. I'll show you as I build that. I'll do like a step by step, because that's going to be like huge to have. This is now a 5th scale. Let me show you. This is the Clodbuster factory chassis. So you can see the size difference. So this is now a 5th scale Clodbuster. And shocks. As good as the factory shocks are on the Clodbuster, I feel like jumping it 50 feet in the air. I don't know if they're up to that, so I picked these up. These are those are X-Max shocks. They're made by Integy. Remote reservoir, whole extra oil, all aluminum. So those should, you know, handle the abuse I plan to put this thing through, because I will be running it on 8S. So those are the shocks, and let's see what else to tell you. It's probably going to be a little while before I do another video on this, just because this is a very time-consuming build. So each tube has to be notched where it meets the other tube, kind of like a little fish mouth. So the tubes sit tight up against each other. It makes for a much nicer weld. And I'm also TIG welding this thing. TIG welding is a pretty slow welding process. So that's time consuming too. So each piece I have to cut and file and grind it until it fits perfect, and then I can weld it. And like I said, it's a slow welding process. And then once it's done, I have to recheck every weld, make sure I didn't miss anything. And then I still have to build, like I said, the axles, and that's going to be a fun project because I'm going to use the low-C DBXLE differential gears and have them go right into my own custom housing. And I'm going to make the housing out of steel. So while it's going to add weight, it's only material strong enough to do what I want to do with this thing. And as far as weight goes, this thing, it's not too heavy, but when it's all said and done, this truck, it'll probably be about 5 pounds heavier than the DBXLE. And then I could go through it and see where I can, like, you know, lose a little bit of weight. But I'm also going to be running the low-C NTXL tires. So overall, they're taller tires, so that will change the final drive ratio. And then one other thing, this chassis design, I build real full-size tube chassis. So this design is just a scaled-down version of one that I already designed a long time ago, and it's what I use on like my current trucks. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, good night, and I'll see you next time.